I would start over, but I'm not. Where do we go from here? Chaos or Community? Dr. Martin Luther King's autobiography, written in Jamaica in 1967. We are eternally grateful for this contribution and this work that Dr. King did, which is so relevant today that it is almost laughable. But we find ourselves reading this book one page at a time, and I believe we are on page 49. We're on page 46. Here we go. This will probably be one of the most rewarding things I do today, to take a moment to allow for my mind to consider where we are and where we need to go and what I need to do. Unfortunately, when hope diminishes, the hate is often turned most bitterly toward those who originally built up the hope. In all the speaking that I have done in the United States, before varied audiences, including some hostile whites, the only time I've been booed was one night in a Chicago mass meeting by some young members of the Black Power movement. I went home that night with an ugly feeling. Selfishly, I thought of my sufferings and sacrifices over the last 12 years. Why would they boo one so close to them? But as I lay awake thinking, I finally came to myself. I could not for the life of me have a less than patient and understanding for those young people. For 12 years, I and others like me had held out radiant promises of progress. I had preached to them about my dream. I had lectured to them about the not too distant day when they would have freedom, quote unquote, all here and now, end quote. I had urged them to have faith in America and in white society. Their hopes had soared. They were now booing because they felt that we were unable to deliver on our promises. They were booing because we had urged them to have faith in people who had too often proved to be unfaithful. They were now hostile because they were watching the dream that they had so readily accepted turn into a frustrating nightmare. But revolution, though born of despair, cannot long be sustained by despair. This is the ultimate contradiction of the Black Power movement. It claims to be the most revolutionary wing of the social revolution taking place in the United States. Yet it rejects the one thing that keeps the fire of revolution burning: the ever-present flame of hope. When hope dies, a revolution degenerates into an undiscriminating catch-all for evanescent and futile gestures. The Negro cannot entrust his destiny to a philosophy nourished solely on despair, to a slogan that cannot be implemented into a program. Dr. King was on fire. Read. Readers are leaders. Start an intellectual revolution in your mind. Thank you for joining us. We're one page closer to completion and the next step called